Hello, dear students. I welcome you all on behalf of Sri Jendra Rangjon classes. Dear student, we are in a continuation of the chapter that is environmental issues, and in that we have already talked about the air pollution and water pollution. And in air pollution, we have also discussed about the noise pollution. Now here we are going to discuss today that is a soil pollution. So as we know, soil pollution, it is an undesirable alteration or undesirable change of a soil by addition or removal of substances. We focus here. It is either addition or removal of substances and factors which decreases soil productivity, quality of plants, and groundwater is called a soil pollution. So, unfavorable alteration of soil by addition or a removal of substances and factors which decrease soil productivity, quality of plant, and groundwater, then it is called as soil pollution. Now, if we focus on the types of soil pollution, it is of three types: positive soil solution, negative soil solution, and the landscape or third pollution. First type of soil pollution is a negative soil pollution we are going to discuss here. What it means. So negative. So we are going to make the soil negative means we are going to remove or a destruction of a useful mineral component from the top layer of the soil due to the intensive agriculture, faulty irrigation, improper methods of irrigation, agriculture, deforestation, desertification, and high speed winds is called a negative soil pollution. So what is here going to take place? We are going to remove the things or we are going to destruct the things, and there is a destruction of useful mineral components from the top layer of the soil due to the, we can say, the intensive agriculture, faulty irrigation, improper methods of agriculture, deforestation, desertification, high speed winds is called what we can say the negative soil pollution. Now the second landscape or third pollution, which is called, that is unplanned urbanization, industrial complexes, building of road, discarded and unserviceable object like worn out furniture, glass pieces, ash, aluminium packing material, empty tins, bottles, building materials, sludge, old component machines, etc. on fertile land. If they are all things are thrown on the fertile land, it is going to convert it into the barren area. It is going to convert into the barren area and thereby giving it a negative look to the whole landscape. Because of this, it is called as a landscape or a third pollution. Then the next type is positive soil pollution. Positive soil pollution is by the addition of something, the positive means plus, by the addition of something, this pollution is going to take place. So here the addition of pesticides, herbicides, inorganic fertilizers, industrial wastage, radioactive dust, discarded materials, air pollutants, which are washed down from the atmosphere through the rain into the soil, affects the productivity of soil, which is called a positive solution. Okay, so by the addition of these things, the soil is going to be affected, and that is known as productivity of soil pollution. That is a positive pollution. So this brings about a cumulative effect and kill the soil organism. It is going to ultimately kill the soil organism. Okay. Now, these three types of pollution are there. After this, we are going to talk about the soil pollutants and their effects. In soil pollutants, we are going to first talk about the soil pollutants, that is agrochemical, pesticides, and weedicides. If we focus on this agrochemical, pesticides, and weedicides, a number of chemicals have been developed to kill a variety of pests in order to improve agriculture. A number of chemicals have been developed. Okay, this kill the variety of pests in order to improve agriculture, or we can say forestry, horticulture, and water reservoir. Okay, in these all things, this particular thing take place. The most widely used among them are the insecticides. The most widely used among them are the insecticides. And it is known that most of these insecticides are broad spectrum and affect other animals, men, and even plants also. because they are broad spectrum. They are not targeted. They are broad spectrum. Means they can kill every any organism. So they are hence called a biocides. They are called as biocides, and it is known that this biocides which kills the organism, they are of two types, and these include organoinsecticides and weedicides. If we talk about organoinsecticides, these organoinsecticides include DDT, PCB, okay, then Aldrin, BHC, that is benzene hexachloride, etc. It is also known that chlorinated hydrocarbons are toxic. Chlorinated hydrocarbons are toxic. Besides being toxic, these pesticides are both persistent and mobile in the ecosystem. So they are mobile in the ecosystem, and the chlorinated hydrocarbon like DDT results in biological magnification also. So organophosphorus compounds, that is malathion and parathion and organocarbamates, are degradable, but they influence the nervous system. They are degradable, but they influence the nervous system. And another are the weedicides or herbicides. These weedicides or herbicides are usually metabolic inhibitors. They are usually metabolic inhibitors, which stop the photosynthesis and other metabolic activities and hence kill the plant. Okay, so they stop photosynthesis and other metabolic activities and hence they are going to kill the plants. Now, if you talk about industrial wastage which ultimately pollute the soil, it include both solid and liquid wastage of the industry are dumped over the soils. Obviously, the industry are going to dump the particular these wastage over the soil. So the waste contain a number of toxic chemicals like mercury, copper, zinc, lead, cadmium, cyanide, thiocyanate, chromate, acid, alkali, organic solvent, etc. Okay, so these all are the wastes are there. Okay, and they are dumped over the soil. That is the industrial wastes. Another are the mine waste. It is a major source of pollution in mining areas. Mine dust not only spread with the wind but also spread over a large area during the transportation to purification plants. Then fertilizers are also going to cause soil pollution, and it is known that when fertilizers are used in excess, excessive use of chemical fertilizers take place, which causes the soil deterioration through the decrease in natural bacterial population. Okay, so excessive use of chemical fertilizers causes soil deterioration through the decrease in the natural bacterial population, that is nitrogen fixing, nitrifying, etc. Destruction of the crumb structure also take place. The salt content of the soil is also bound to increase with continuous use of fertilizers. Okay, soil content is also going to salt content also bound to increase the with the continuous use of fertilizers. Okay, so these are the things. Now we are going to discuss the one case study, important case study of organic farming. It is known that integrated organic farming is a cyclical zero waste process. Obviously, integrated organic farming is a zero waste and cyclical process. Now, where waste products from one process are cycled as a nutrients to the other process, means multiple processes are connected with each other, and the products, waste products of one are going to used for the as a nutrient for the other process. So this allows the maximum utilization of the resources and increases the efficiency of the production. Obviously, because the wastes are going to be less. So one important scientist, we can say a farmer, not scientist, is farmer, that is Ramesh Chandra Dagar. He is a farmer in Sonipat village in Haryana. He is doing just this. He includes beekeeping, dairy management, water harvesting, composting, agricultural in a chain of processes. And we when he keep this all processes in chain of processes which support each other and allow a extremely economical and sustainable venture. So this extremely economical and sustainable venture is there. There is a no need to use chemical fertilizers for crop as cattle extracta used as a manure. So this way it is going to be used. Now, crop waste is used to create compost. Obviously, when the crop waste is there, it is used to create a compost and can be used in a natural fertilizer and can be used to generate a natural gas for satisfying the energy needs of the farm. Apart from this, enthusiastic about spreading information and help on the practice of integrated organic farming. Dagar has created a Haryana Kisan Welfare Club with the current membership of 5,000 farmers. So Haryana Kisan Welfare Club is there, which has a current membership of 5,000 farmers. Okay, so this is the what particularly we can say about the soil pollution. Now we are going to talk about the soil polluting agent, which are solid waste component. So solid waste refers to what? Solid wastes are the wastage refers to the everything that goes out in trash. Everything, whatever it is going to be in trash, it is known as solid waste. So solid waste, if we talk, are discarded or leftover, are discarded or leftover solid materials produced due to human activities. They are the leftover solid materials. This waste refer to everything that goes out in trash. The term rubbish and trash are often used interchangeably for these solid waste materials. The various sources of solid waste are municipal waste, industrial waste, hospital waste, hazardous waste, and electronic wastes. These solid wastes are responsible for the landscape pollution. Okay, and in this, if we want to particularly discard this wastage, all sanitary landfilling can be done. So sanitary landfilling adopted as a substitute for open burning dumps. Okay, so how to dump? That is also one of the important question. So sanitary dumping is a particular substitute for the open burning dumps, whereas sanitary landfill wastes are dumped in a depression or trench after compaction covered with a dirt every day. But these sites are getting filled too and seepage of chemicals also taking place from, so this landfills pollute underground water resources also. So anthropogenic solid waste is categorized into three categories. Okay, that is biodegradable, recyclable, and non-biodegradable. Okay, so if we talk about this man-made wastes, which are biodegradable, recyclable, and non-biodegradable, then we have to discuss about the one of the important component, that is one case study of we can say remedy for the plastic wastes. Okay, so first we are going to here discuss the case study of remedy for plastic waste. Okay, so polyblend, if we talk, it is a fine powder of recycled modified plastic. If the recycled modified plastic is there, we are going to create a fine powder which is known as polyblend. And it was developed by the company owned by Ahmed Khan in Bangalore. If we talk about the history of Ahmed Khan, plastic sack manufacturer in Bangalore, he is, and he managed to find the ideal solution for an ever increasing problem of accumulation of plastic waste. Ahmed Khan, whose age was is at that time 57 years, he has been producing a plastic sack for 20 years. About 8 years ago, he realized that plastic waste is a real problem, so he created polyblend, that is a fine powder of recycled modified plastic. And this was developed by his company. Then the mixture is mixed with, this polyblend is mixed with the bitumen that is used to lay roads. So mixture is mixed with the bitumen to lay roads. So blend of this polyblend and bitumen, when used to lay roads, it enhances the bitumen's water repellent properties and help to increase the road life by a factor of 3. So the use of, so this is where the particularly we can say the Ahmed Khan in collaboration with the RV College of Engineering and the Bangalore City Corporation, Ahmed Khan proved that blends of polyblend and bitumen when used to lay roads enhances the bitumen's water repellent properties by a factor of 3. The raw material for the creating a polyblend is any plastic film waste. So against the price of 0.440 per kg that Rackwicker had been getting for plastic waste, Khan now offer rupees 6. So using Khan's technique, by the year 2022, more than 40-kilometer road in Bangalore has already been laid. At this rate, Khan will soon be running short of plastic waste in Bangalore to produce a polybrand. Thanks to innovation like polyblend, we might still avoid being smoothed by a plastic waste. Now, this is the what about the plastic waste. Now, if we want to talk about the disposal of solid waste, and in disposal of solid waste, if we talk, the burning is also done. And in burning, two things are done. So in burning, the incinerator are used. So burning of solid waste, having organic waste is done by two methods. That is, the incinerators are used, and in the incineration, the burning occur, controlled aerobic combustion occur in the presence of O2 at 900 to 1200 degrees Celsius. Okay, inside the chambers. And other technique is a pyrolysis, that is anaerobic burning at 1650 degrees Celsius, which is a crucial for the disposal of solid waste, disposal for the hospital waste. Okay. Then e-waste are there. So what we can do for the e-waste? E-waste is the electronic waste. Okay. So if we talk about e-waste or electronic waste, this electronic waste includes the irreparable computers and other electronic goods like mobiles. These all are a part of electronic waste. So e-waste are buried in landfill and incinerated. So it is known that most of the developing countries like India, China, Pakistan import e-waste from developed countries for the extraction of useful metals like copper, iron, silicon, nickel, and gold through recycling. However, unlike developed countries which have superficially built facilities to recycle the e-waste, recycling in developing countries often involve the manual participation, exposing the worker to the toxic substances present in e-waste. So, over a half of the e-waste generated in the developed world are exported, and recycling of the is the only solution for the treatment of e-waste. Recycling is the only solution for this, provided it is carried out in the environment-friendly manner. The it should be done in this. So, as I told you, the developing countries like China, India, Pakistan import over half of the waste generated by the developed countries for the recovery of metal, copper, iron, nickel, and gold. So now let's talk about the radioactive waste, which are dumped in the soil. So radioactive waste, a physical pollution of air, water, and soil with the radioactive material is taking place. So radioactivity, if we talk, it is a property of certain elements like radium, thorium, uranium, etc. They spontaneously emit proton. There is alpha particle, electron, beta particle, and gamma rays. That is the electromagnetic waves of very short wavelength. They are releasing spontaneously by a disintegration of their atomic orbital from the outer orbital. So this element that give radiation, they are called as a radioactive element. The use of nuclear energy was has two very serious inherent problems. The first is accidental leakage has occurred in 3 Mile Island and Chernobyl incident, and the second is the safe disposal of radioactive waste is one of the important problem. And this radioactive waste is causes a mutation which occur at a very high rate, and at high doses the nuclear radiation is lethal, and at lower doses it creates various disorder. The most frequent of being is the cancer. Okay. Now it has been recommended that storage of nuclear waste after sufficient pretreatment should be done in a suitably sealed container buried within the rock about 500 meters deep below the earth's surface. So it has been recommended that storage of nuclear waste after sufficient pretreatment, it should be done in a suitably sealed container buried within the rock about 500 meters deep below the earth's surface. So the production of nuclear weapons involve the test of nuclear arm. Okay. So this test produces large amount of radioactive elements into the environment and make the other materials also radioactive. They include radioactive material like strontium 90, cesium 137, iodine 131, and other are the particular radioactive elements. So the radioactive materials are transformed into gases and fine particles which are carried to a distant places by wind. So these fine particles, obviously by wind, they can be carried out to the different places. And when rain drop, the radioactive particles fall on the ground. It is called a fallout. Strontium 90, it is known to accumulate in the bone, replace calcium, and may cause a bone cancer and tissue degeneration in most animals and man. So this way, the radioactive waste are going to affect. The operation of the nuclear power plant releases large amount of energy. They are also responsible for this. The energy is used in large turbines which produce electricity. Wastes from atomic reactors also contain radioactive materials. Okay, they also have this particular radioactive mass. The biggest problem is the disposal of this radioactive waste is the biggest problem, and if these wastes are not properly disposed of, can harm the living organism wherever they may be done. So this is the way how this particular radioactive wastes are affected. So this is what we can say about important things about the soil pollution. Okay, I hope you understood that. Thank you. Thank you.